Hello and welcome to episode 29 of the Universally Epic Podcast, your go-to Universal Orlando trip planning podcast. I'm Jim Klein, along with Taylor Franklin. We are your hosts and travel agents for all things Universal. On today's show, Epic Universe is 1 week old. Can you believe the wait times at Epic Universe on opening day? Universal also may have already announced their first expansion coming to Epic Universe. So let's get started. How you doing, Taylor?
I'm so tired.
We were just talking about that before we went on. We both had crazy weekends, so
Oh yeah, Memorial Day weekend I think has taken us both out. So
yes, we're gonna. This one might not be as long as our normal episodes, which I guess some people might be happy about, some people might be sad. So whichever way you go,
yeah, yeah.
um,
Though we say that, and then I'm gonna look down and it'll be 43 minutes long.
you're probably right about that. We're gonna start going off on our tangents. Like we have three things to talk about, and it's gonna be 48 minutes, and I'm gonna be
Mhm.
like, oh, now I have to edit. So be, behind the scenes here. Normally we record on Sunday or Monday, and we're recording on Tuesday night. Um, so that's how crazy our weeks have been.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can get this out by tomorrow. If it doesn't come out, well, obviously they're not going to hear this until it comes out, but I'm going to try to get it out by Wednesday night or
Yeah.
early Thursday morning. So, yeah. So and you know what? We're picking up a lot of followers on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. So it's been good. The
That's
numbers have been very
great.
good. So it's very thank you everyone for listening. So so let's get into our first topic. That Epic Universe is almost about a week old. When everybody's hearing this, it's pretty much a week old.
If
Um,
it comes out on Thursday, it's a week old.
yes, exactly. So we had mentioned last episode about the huge opening ceremony at like live stream on YouTube and
hmm
TikTok or whatever. I think I watched it on YouTube. Um, what'd you think?
Um,
That's a
I
loaded question.
I'm really glad that it exists,
Yeah.
and I think that it exists for someone. I don't think that someone is for me. I I'm all for celebrity interviews and stuff, but some of the interviews just didn't provide anything. I was kind of expecting some kind of like look behind the scenes or people to be praising the Universal Creative team a little bit more or something, and it just kind of feels like they didn't.
Yeah, I felt like it was a little drawn out.
hmm
Um, I that was the feeling I got. Now, like I said, like you, I agree with you. I'm glad that they did something because it made it feel special. So they had
Yeah.
like this whole like blue carpet ceremony where they're interviewing like famous people heading into Epic Universe. Like,
hmm
you know what I mean? Like, so that was cool. Like, I agree with that. I felt it was a little slow moving, the actual live stream. And to be honest, like, I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest. Like, after watching it, like,
Yeah.
because they did talk to people from creative team, but it
hmm
wasn't super in depth, right? It was a
It
quick couple questions and then they moved on.
it like the
Um,
questions were kind of just like, "Oh, what's your favorite ride at Epic?" And none of them could be like, "Oh, it was like this ride for sure."
yeah,
They were
yeah.
just kind of like, well, I really liked the answer that I didn't write his name down when it happened. So, eh. But I really liked his answer, and it was definitely one of those like lawyer answers where they're answering around the question.
Yeah, yeah.
But he was asked what his favorite ride at Universal is, and he said the next one, and I really liked that.
That's
That was
great.
something that I was like, that's really cute. That's a really cute way to be like, I cannot tell you that. I
Yeah,
can't tell you what my favorite ride is right now.
yeah. I don't know, and once again, everybody's raving about Stardust, so we'll see. We'll see. Everybody, it's so crazy. So yeah,
I'm waiting.
I know. Yeah,
I'm waiting.
like I'm hearing it every single week, almost every day that I turn on TikTok. I hear somebody saying how Stardust is better than Velocicoaster. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Um, yeah. However, Now let's get into, so that was like kind of, like we said, we kind of like talk about everything in like an honest way, right? So that's our honest
Yeah.
opinion about it. Did it blow us away? No. However, the fireworks were incredible.
The fireworks display was
It
amazing.
was so good. It was so good. And I loved all the music from
Mhm.
each of the lands, from each of the worlds, and it was just so perfect. And then they had like the drones going, and it was just the lighting up on Helios and the fountains, and everything looked so good.
Mhm.
Now, I thought that that fireworks show was insane. What is funny though is on opening day, they did not have fireworks,
I
which is
heard.
very weird. Is that not strange at all? I know they were doing something special for people, like obviously, the day before, like this
Mhm.
grand opening celebration, but you would think that it would be on opening day at least. I don't know.
Yeah,
It was kind of strange.
it was strange. I wonder though, if that's just like like the fireworks are just not going to be a regular thing, um, which is fine. I think maybe I don't know.
I don't
People
think so.
really
To be
love
honest,
fireworks,
yeah. And
so
and I think that's what, Universal, their nighttime shows are kind of
Mhm.
sporadic at times,
They feel
where
very
like,
random.
yeah, it does feel very random, and it would be really cool to have something like on a more consistent basis at
Yeah.
Universal. Like a, hey, this is our show for Epic. This is the opening fireworks show for Epic
Mhm.
Universe. It's going off at 9 o'clock every night. Like, I'm not sure because it's like in a different area now. Like, is there other like things that they have to worry about? Like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and
Um,
I mean, this is still. I understand that it's open. But please, everybody understand that even though it's open now, it's still kind of in technical rehearsal. And it's going to be in that phase for quite some time. I would argue is that like that park is stunning. It is beautiful. It is amazingly laid out. I love the layout of Epic. It's an amazing park. It is truly a marvel. But it's still a baby, and
yeah,
you've got to like give it a you got to give it a little bit of time. And maybe the reason they're not doing the fireworks yet um is because they're trying to figure out where they can put the fireworks that would be safe enough away from the general public,
yeah,
that they would be able to do it without obstructing. They have a hotel in the park basically,
yeah,
um, and they have to kind of be mindful of that, and they also have to be mindful of where people might be. And I think that like in these first couple of months, is when they're really going to try to solidify out if there's going to be some kind of like nighttime show, or if it's going to be like, oh hey, here's the summertime show and it happens Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
yeah,
um, and then they
yeah,
just go from there.
yeah. There's going to be some growing pains and there's things to work out and stuff. But yeah, you know, um, it would be nice to see something there. I did see a rumor online going around, and obviously it's open for a week, so like there's rumors flying everywhere. But there was a rumor about some sort of like parade at Epic Universe, um,
I did
and
hear about that.
yeah, and it seemed, it makes sense, right?
Mhm.
To, like it would be kind of cool. You could have all the different worlds, like kind of like float from each world type of thing,
Yeah.
go around Celestial Park, like, and you can have like a cool Celestial Park float. Maybe throw some of those like carousel like creatures on a float. That
Yeah.
would kind of be cool. So, like, that would be cool. Like, I wouldn't mind that either. Um,
One thing I did really enjoy, and I can't remember if it was during the like opening ceremony or if it was during the like that morning when they were like bringing out the characters. Did you see that?
no, I did not.
Okay, so there was like, so obviously Epic Universe has a story, because all of the parks do. But Epic Universe has a story, and there are people, I guess, Um, they call them the Celestials. They
Hmm.
called them the Celestials, and they were like standing outside the portals, and they were singing a song. And it was like their song was opening the portal and calling forth these characters. So you got to see the characters like walk forward, which brings me into a point. It brings me into a point because Victoria Frankenstein was there and she came through the portal, but she is not in the park. She is not a walk around character. She is nowhere
Oh,
except for
that's
in Monsters
interesting.
Unchained. Every other
That
character that came through that portal
is
was
a
a
walker.
character in the parks. Where did
Wow.
Victoria Frankenstein go? Look, she's right here. I love
Mhm.
Victoria
Yeah,
Frankenstein.
yeah. That's so
Where was
funny.
she?
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, those little mini shows before the portals open in the
Mhm.
morning are amazing. They are that you just brought that into my mind because I saw it last week and I actually
Mhm.
reposted it on TikTok. Like the Isle of Berk one, unbelievable. Super Mario, unbelievable.
They
Like
like do all
it's
the
really
smoke and
cool.
stuff. Oh my gosh,
Yes,
it's
they come
beautiful.
through like, and it's such a cool feeling with the music
Mhm.
going, and it's like it's one of those like chilling moments, right? Like where you're just like like you're seeing something special happen.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
that they nailed that.
And I personally, as an HHN person, I very much so love the use of a fog machine to hide like a mundane effect. Like
Hmm.
they're just sliding open a door, guys.
It is funny.
It's not
Did you
anything
see that
crazy.
TikTok?
They're
Did you
just
see that
sliding
one?
open a door. Yeah.
It's the
they're
funniest TikTok ever. They're like,
they're
it
just
could have
sliding
been a
open a
little
mall
more
gate.
magical, and it's like a guy like pushing open a huge metal door. It's the
Like
funniest thing.
they're just opening a mall gate, but would you know that?
No,
No.
they're using fog,
No.
and all these characters walk out, and it's like it looks like a show. Like
Yeah.
it's the coolest thing. Like I
Mhm.
love it. Yeah, those
It's
opening shows
beautiful.
at each portal,
Mhm.
it's really cool. It's a
Mhm.
really cool touch that they did. And when I first saw it, I'm like, "Is this real?" Like, and I'm like, "Yeah, look at this. This is like
Yeah.
there's Hiccup like talking to the crowd before going in
It
and like
is.
inviting you into the Isle of Berk. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's very
is incredible. I am every time I see pictures and everything, it's so hard to be mad at the weird things that are going on in there because that park
yeah,
is stunning.
yeah. It looks really cool. It looks amazing, and in terms of guest experience,
Mhm.
it looks like they're knocking it out of the park right now.
Yeah.
Um, that gets into our one of our other topics that we wanted to touch on. So
Mhm.
last week we talked about how Ministry of Magic took away the virtual line and
Yeah.
there was like 300, 400 minute waits and we were like, "Oh my god, like what?" We even, we talked about our own experiences about, how long we've waited in line and I actually made a TikTok about you talking about yours. Did actually pretty well actually. I don't know if you saw it, but
Oh,
it looked good.
I didn't look at our numbers.
Yeah, it looked good. And so, with that being said, we were like, "Oh no, what's going to happen on opening day?" And the complete opposite happened on opening day.
Mhm.
When they said that they were going to limit capacity, I had no idea it was going to be that low.
Yeah.
Um, every single ride at Epic Universe on opening day was
Mhm.
like 20 minutes or less. Um, Ministry of
Yeah.
Magic was down for most of the day, I heard.
Mhm.
Uh, But when it did come up, I saw like 60 minutes.
Mhm.
And I'd much rather wait 60 minutes than 300. So,
All I'm saying is that it worked.
yeah,
Because they told people, they had word of mouth everywhere, everywhere, all over the place, being like, "Ooh, you probably don't want to go to Epic in the first like couple of months. You probably don't want to do that because the wait times are going to be super long."
yeah.
It
I was
worked. I don't
I
know
was almost
what they were trying to do, but it worked.
I was almost looking up plane tickets just to see if I can go down for the day. Like it's it was insane. I
Yeah, I was
couldn't
thinking about
believe it.
reactivating my teleportation circle.
Unbelievable, right?
It was crazy. I I was like I was sitting there, I was looking, and now I have a new fun thing that I can do is I can like do the loop, right? So I always like go check all of my favorite rides wait times just to see. As
Nice.
you know, as if me in Georgia can go to
Yeah,
Universal in the next 30 minutes. But I'm like constantly checking wait times and stuff, and epics have not been that bad. They've
yeah. No,
really
they
not
knocked
that
it out of
been
the park
they've not been bad.
when they, and we had that training session with Al from the
Hmm.
agency, and he was like, "Oh, we're going to limit the capacity when it first opens." And then you were seeing the previews, and you were like, "Man, the wait times are getting a little high. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god!" Like, and then it opens, and it's unbelievable.
Hmm.
I couldn't believe it. And it's so crazy because you had like all the TikTok influencers and
Yeah.
content creators there, and they are just pushing out content left and right on how great
Oh
that
my
there's only a
gosh.
15-minute wait for Minecart Madness, and you know, Hiccup Wing Gliders is a walk on,
Hmm.
and it's just they this is one of those things that they knocked out of the park again, like during this
Yeah.
whole opening thing. And they tricked us all. Like, I feel like I was tricked because it seemed as though during previews, I'm like, man, this is going to be a rough opening. And then
Right.
they got us. They got us.
They
And
got
they
us.
did a great job doing it. And I'm happy for it because it allows guests that have tickets in these first couple like weeks to like take a deep breath and say, hey, listen, like it's not going to be
Yeah.
what everybody said it was going to be.
Yeah.
And
And like all these people that paid money for the
yeah,
Helios Hotel. Not that the Helios Hotel is particularly expensive, but like all these people that paid, a lot of dollars to be there, opening week. Um and everything. Like they don't have to worry about, okay, so I paid all of this money and I every single day have to stand in lines that are,
yeah,
2 to 3 hours long.
yep,
Um and that's just ugh. But
yeah.
you know what's funny? Did you see the wait times at Disney?
No,
Because I went and checked.
okay. The Universally Epic Podcast is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel, a Universal you preferred travel agency. If you're looking to plan your next Universal Orlando vacation, let's do it together. As certified Universal specialists, we can help guide you through the planning process with helpful tips and tricks along the way. The best part, all our travel planning services are free to you.
When you book your Universal Orlando vacation with us, you qualify for an exclusive booking bonus offer from the Magic for Less Travel, a $25 Universal gift card for all vacation packages over $2,500. Ready to start planning? Email the podcast at universallyepicpodcast@gmail.com and start planning your next epic Universal vacation today. So, I went and checked to see just what was going on at Disney because I was like, listen, we know they're competitors. We know about the theme park wars. We spent a lot of time talking about the theme park wars. We know about those. So I went and checked. Disney was a ghost town.
Really?
A ghost town.
Wow.
And
Wow.
like not only was Disney a ghost town, but like Universal and Islands were both super busy. And I can only imagine it's because the way that the ticketing works right now for Epic,
Hmm.
where it's like you have to get X amount of days and you get one free day, or you not one free day,
Yeah,
but you
you
get
get
one
your
day of
one-day
Epic.
package. Yeah, yep.
Um, so like Universal Islands are busy, and Epic is kind of busy, um, but like Disney is a ghost town,
That's crazy.
and
It's crazy.
and
So,
I say ghost town, but
no,
like
yeah, like it's not what we were
it's
seeing.
not Disney.
Yeah, it's not Disney crowds like crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and we've said it before. And this whole theme park wars down in Orlando,
Mm.
it's only good for us and the guests and everything else. Like we're the only ones that are going to benefit from this.
Yeah.
Um, in terms of like being theme park fans, because
Mhm.
now now each one of them is going to try to get your business. And we've seen it with Disney already for this
Mhm.
summer. Free dining, like all the hotel discounts. There's so much out there right now on the Disney side of
Yeah.
things in terms of discounts. So it's insane. So honestly, it's a great time to go to Disney. I
Yeah,
know
it's a
we're
great time to go to Disney.
great time to go to Disney because you're gonna get it. You're gonna get to go there for cheap this summer,
Hmm.
and it's it's not gonna be as crowded as it usually is,
Yeah.
because you see that little shift. This is a huge shift right now in the theme park world down in Orlando because everybody wants to go see that new shiny toy at
Hmm.
Epic Universe. So it's like, hey, I need to get in there. I need to get in there. So it's even great. You could buy single day tickets too to Epic. So if you're going down to Disney, you want to check out Epic, you could buy single day tickets to Epic
Hmm.
and spend your, they're advertising $99 nights at one of the All Stars at Disney. Like
Yeah.
unreal.
Hmm.
Unreal. So it's like take advantage of it, guys. Like this is the
Yeah.
way to go right now.
Hmm.
Like it's trust me, we'll book you anything, right?
Anything.
We will book Disney, we'll book Universal, wherever you want to go. But we
Hmm.
can help you guys with that as well. Like, hey, I want to split it up. Yeah, no problem. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's this is the time to go, and this summer is a great opportunity to go visit Disney, jump over to Universal. If you're ever thinking about doing split stay between Universal and Disney, this is the summer
It's the
because
time.
yeah, it's not going to be crazy. It's not going to break the
Mm-mm.
bank, but yeah, it's great. It's great for everybody involved.
Yeah.
And now they have to maintain it, right? So
Hmm. And
it's
and
it
here's to hoping that they do, genuinely. I'm hoping that like Epic will push Disney to do the things that Disney was like,
yep,
it's okay. We don't have to do that yet. No, do it. Do it.
yep,
Because what happens from here is you're going to lose your Disney people.
hmm yep,
Because Disney's going to see how much greener the grass is on the other side. Like it, and don't get me wrong, I love Disney. I do. I do. I love Disney. I love Universal more. Sorry, Mickey Mouse, but I love Disney. um and a lot of people are now seeing that, like, to be fair, Universal kind of treats its fans better.
yeah. You know, I'm hoping that changes on the Disney side of things.
Me too.
And I think a lot of it nowadays and recently, like when I went to Disney back in February,
Hmm.
it seems like a lot of nickel and diming is going on, and it's not very upfront anymore.
Hmm.
And I'm hoping that changes where it's like you going into Universal and you kind of know what you're going in for, and
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, and it's if you want to pay for Express Pass, yes, it's expensive at
Mhm.
Universal, but you know that ahead of time going into it,
Yeah.
right? So like you can look on the Disney app and see how much like multi pass is and stuff like that. Like, and you have to book that a week before. It's just different though,
Hmm.
right? And then you're purchasing like day by day multi passes, and it's like it works, but it just feels like I just spent a ton of money going down there, and now I'm spending another couple $100 a week before I go.
Yeah.
Um, and basically, it's like kind of like the same system as the Fast Pass Plus was, where I booked 3 attractions 2 months prior to going. So like those little things need to be adjusted, and I think they know that at this point,
Hmm.
right? Like I think that has to change at some point. Um, but they've gone through so many iterations of the Fast Pass over the past like 4 or 5 years,
Right.
since like 2020. So it's and I think they're still trying to find their way with it.
Yeah.
Um, but where Universal shines is honestly, I went to Universal without an Express Pass, and I had a great time. Like
I don't think I've ever had an express pass for Universal.
it's not like I've had Express Pass one time because I stayed at the Hard Rock, and it was
Oh,
great.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was great, but it's one of those things that it's like, yes, it's a convenience and it's nice, um, but it's not necessary at Universal. I
Yeah.
feel right. It's just a weird. It's a different thing where Disney, when you go there, it feels like you have to get that multi pass. Like I don't
Yeah.
know, there's a
Yeah.
sense in me that I'm like, yeah, no, I have to do this. And yes,
Yeah.
can you get a lot done with it? Yes, 100%. Does it make your experience better? Yes, but you're also paying for that experience to be better,
Hmm.
right? So like that's where things need to level off, I think, which I think with Epic Universe opening and the demand for Universal being higher now, like you said, Disney has to maintain and be better than what it's been in the
Right.
past in terms of guest experience. Because Disney has always been that guest experience approach. Like that's how I feel. Is like, and that's why I love Disney so much. It's like
Hmm.
you go there, you're in the bubble, right? You just call it the Disney bubble because it's like you're in this world. Like, and
Yeah.
I don't feel the same way when I'm at Universal. I love Universal,
Hmm.
but it's a completely different feel,
Yeah, it's a
right?
different vibe.
Yeah,
And I think that that's totally fine. And exactly what they're
yeah.
looking for is that these parks are two completely different parks. They are in no way, shape, or form the same park.
Mhm.
Um, which is why it's always so funny to me when people are looking for Hogwarts Castle at Disney. But, um, but like there is, these parks are so different from each other, and they have and serve different needs. Disney is a lot more, family centric, and as Holly loves to say, you only have to be 48 inches old to ride or to go to Universal.
42,
40,
42 inches.
42.
So I paid attention during training.
Oh, oh no, I went through it twice. Um, oh no, 42 inches. Um, which I love that quote, by the way. But
Yeah.
but like, Universal has this like, let's get everybody together and let's go do something. It doesn't matter what that something is. Let's go do something. But when you go to Disney, it's like we are going to Disney. We are stepping into the storybooks.
Mhm.
That is what Disney is.
Yeah.
And while Universal has that feel in places like the Harry Potter area, or I almost said Harry Potter Land. She would have
That
killed
would
me.
have been funny. I would have
Um,
laughed.
in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, or really that's really
Any
the most
well, now
immersive
with
land.
Epic, like any of the
Yeah,
world,
any of the
right?
worlds
Like,
in
yeah.
Epic, now you're stepping beyond the pages, but you're stepping beyond the pages in like a different way, in a way
Mhm.
that like, whereas with Disney, you're kind of a spectator to everything.
Yeah.
For Epic and for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, you are an active participant in the story.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Um,
That's a good way to look at it.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, so it's gonna be fun to see. It really
me too.
is. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
I'm really excited to see where they go from here.
both
Um,
sides. It's
on both
so
sides, yeah.
exciting. It's very, very exciting, and I can't
Hmm.
wait. Um, So let's get on to the last point because we are already almost a half an hour in here, and
I
this is
told
our
you.
quick episode. Yeah, I know. I knew that was going to happen. So there's some photos coming out of the new Nintendo store in Celestial Park,
I'm so
and
excited.
there's some merch. And wanted to bring this up because obviously you would love this. They have Legend of Zelda T-shirts and
Dude.
merch at the Nintendo store at Celestial Park. So.
Yeah. I'm so excited because since the kind of like beginning of all of these media previews and things like that, and just various pictures that have come out, we've seen Zelda get placed in like weird spots where
Mhm.
there's like some random Zelda murals inside the Nintendo store, and everyone was like, I mean,
That's right.
it's a Nintendo property. That makes sense. Yeah, for sure. I'm a little sad, not gonna lie, that it's not probably gonna be in the Lost Continent. It's fine. I'll get
Yeah.
over it, but
It
I'm a little sad that it
seems
won't be over there.
yeah, it's
Um,
almost
yeah,
this seems like it's pretty much penciled in for the expansion of Super Nintendo
yeah.
World. That's the feeling I get,
Hmm.
and it makes sense, obviously. I know you want a Lost Continent to turn into Legend of Zelda. I get that. Um, but
Upset.
it's going to be cool anyway, right?
Hmm.
And they already have like I saw a picture or a video. I think we talked about this in another episode. the land next to Super Nintendo World, like where the expansion
Yeah.
pad would be, is already cleared.
Mm-hmm.
So, so which
It's
is
like it's
which
already
probably
cleared and they're like actively working.
yeah. So it's not going to be that long. Like
Mhm.
we're probably by the I'm it would be cool by the end of this year to start hearing about like expansions
Yeah.
to Epic. I don't know if it'll be in this calendar year, but you
Hmm.
got to think within a year and then another year or two to build it out. You're
Yeah.
probably 2027, early 2027. You probably might see your first expansion to Epic Universe, which is
Yeah.
crazy. And it's only a week old,
Uh-huh. It's
right?
only
That's
a week
what
old.
we're talking about. It's so wild. It's so wild. So,
Yeah. I'm really, really excited. As everyone knows, I could talk about Zelda for hours and hours, but this is supposed to be our short episode, so I'll spare you my Zelda detail. But Zelda would be so cool to see in a theme park. I mean, I was at MomoCon in Georgia this past weekend, and seeing the people that were cosplaying Link and Zelda and all of that were just it was so cool. It was just like little baby Taylor walking through and being like, Zelda's in front of me.
that's
It's
great.
just good. It
That's
was incredible, and I with as good as they've done with every other casting for every other character that is in that park, I can only imagine that the casting for Link and Zelda would be incredible.
yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very cool. So, yeah, something to look forward to. Um, and yeah, so that's our shortened version, right, of our podcast. We're
Hmm.
about a half an hour in now. What we were going to do, we were going to do our character dining
Yes.
going into Universal Parks, but we both agreed that we need pretty much a full hour for that. So if we
Yeah.
started now, we'd probably get like an hour and a half episode, which both of us probably cannot handle at this point. Um,
Yeah, it would be
so
an hour and a half of Taylor and Jim taking a nap.
yeah, exactly. Um,
And I don't
so
think we're into sleep streams, so
yeah, so what we wanted to do as a little like sneak preview for next
Mhm.
week is just let you know one each of
Yes.
our ideas. I'll go first because everybody knows this one, and I love cheating. We've
I love cheese.
we've always cheated. Um, so here's the thing: we love Minions Cafe, and my idea is at Minions Cafe, and I have a whole thing to go along with it. And so tune in next week, and you'll hear my idea for Minions Cafe. And I actually have two more. So I have three of them. So Taylor, what's your sneak preview?
Ooh, which one do I want to talk about? Okay. My sneak preview actually is Men in Black.
Oh, good
I
one.
have an idea for a restaurant and what characters would be walkarounds in there.
They put a restaurant right where Fear Factor was. Good one. Oh, I'm gonna tune in next week to hear what you have to say.
You know what, Jim? I think I'm gonna tune in next week to hear what you have to say.
Good, good. Whenever that is, we will be going live on TikTok. Follow us on TikTok and YouTube. Um, we work with the Magic for Less Travel. If you want free trip planning, um, reach out to us. Taylor, what's that email address again?
Universally Epic Podcast at gmail.com.
All right. Email us at universallyepicpodcast@gmail.com if you want some free trip planning to either Disney or Universal. We could do both.
There we go.
Um, yeah, so, and yeah, Epic Universe, anything else you have to say?
No, happy 1 week birthday, Epic Universe.
1 week
Yay!
old. So, and like always, have an epic week, everybody. Hello and welcome to episode 29 of the Universally Epic Podcast, your go-to Universal. I knew that was going to happen. I knew it right from the get-go. All right, here we go.
Uh,
All right, there we go. And we're getting good at that. All right.
We are getting good at that.
That's that one. And it took what, 2 weeks to do that?